Yeah, honey.
You know what I really miss from Florida?
Mosquitoes.
No.
Humidity.
No.
No. I don't know. What do you miss?
The empanadas.
Empanadas. Well, you know what we should do?
What?
Let's make empanadas.
Sounds good.
All right.
So I'm Chef Issa and this is...
Her faithful assistant, Chef Sean.
And welcome back to What the Heck
do I cook today? Yeah.
And today
I like the jazz hands. That was good.
That was
nice.
good.
Okay.
And today we're going to make two types of empanadas. We're going to make, what types?
We're going to make a chorizo empanadas, which we would use some fresh ground chorizo, and then some beef empanadas. You can put whatever you want inside your empanadas. That's one of the beautiful things of them. They're like basically a Hispanic turnover. And there's different types. There's from Peru, Colombia, Venezuela. Everybody has their own kind of interpretation, or Puerto Rican. Everybody has their own interpretation of what an empanada is. But it's all really is a folded over piece of dough. Most of them are fried. We are going to make ours baked today. So we want to kind of have a nice, light, fluffy crust, which makes for great eating. And so we're going to cook off the meat. We're going to do that separate, and then we'll put this into our empanada. That'll be our stuffing. We're going to do a little bit of Peruvian style, in that we're going to add a quarter of a hard-boiled egg inside each empanada as well. In Peru, they like to also add raisins and olives.
Yep.
But someone
neither like
either one of those, so we won't do it. So we'll put the eggs in there. We'll do the chorizo. We'll put some peppers and onions, all that kind of stuff for the chorizo. And then with our ground beef, we're just going to do some ground beef, some onions, and a bunch of spices, kind of kick it up. Even that little cinnamon trick like we did for our pulled pork. Add a little bit of that to it. Give it a nice, flavorful fillings. And we also add a little bit of cilantro at the end to both of them. And then that's going to be our filling inside our empanadas. But now the most important part is, Chef Isa is going to show us how to make the empanada dough.
Okay, so first we're going to have 3 cups of all-purpose flour, as well as, so we're going to mix this all together in a big bowl. Then we're going to add a stick and a half of butter.
Which is about 6 ounces of butter. We softened it up slightly in the microwave so it comes out easier.
We're also going to add 1 egg. I thought you were my assistant.
Oh, well, you know, you're the pro at cracking stuff, so.
We're also going to add half a teaspoon of salt. We're going to start off with a 4th cup of milk, and then we'll just keep adding it until the consistency is right.
And how do you know when it's right?
It's going to feel like Play-Doh. It'll be smooth and not chalky, I guess.
Okay. So we're just going to mix this all up, and then once it is nicely mixed and incorporated, we'll show you what that looks like, and then we'll show you how to roll it out and make the discs. So to start off, let's get everything all mixed up.
Yep. So your dough should look like this. Kind of feels like Play-Doh. Right?
Yeah, we got one big ball of it. We just divide it in 4 and make it easier to roll out. So then you just take some flour, sprinkle it onto your working surface.
Get it down and just start rolling.
Start rolling. I'm in charge of rolling here. So we want to get them nice and thin, like you do on pie crust, you know. So you roll them out nice and thin. And you roll in your flour, your rolling pin and the flour, so it keeps it from sticking. And just go in circles here. And just get it all nice and thin. How thin are we going, honey?
We're going pretty thin.
Pretty thin. That's a technical term, pretty thin.
Yeah.
Pie dough thin.
Like this thin, right here.
Like that thin right there, which is great in the camera. So you want to get it really thin, less than 1/4 of an inch, like you're doing pie dough, if you want to have it nice and thin. And we're going to cut them out in circles. So right now it doesn't matter, you're going to use all of it. So we're just going to keep rolling until it's extra thin. And then, what's your technique? What's your fancy technique here?
Let me see.
Is that thin enough?
Yeah, it's good.
Okay.
Well,
A little more?
you can always thin them out as soon after you make the
circles too. Okay.
So what you're gonna do About how big is this? You'd say. You can make them as big or small as you want to. Personally, I like a medium-sized empanada. So, how long is a medium size, would you say?
Well, you're the one who's cutting it out there. It's probably like 4 or 5 inches diameter, so it's a nice small disc.
Then, just gonna take this out. Got your perfect little empanada disc. On this recipe, we'll make 24 empanadas, but depending on how big you make yours, it may vary.
So we're gonna take this though, we're gonna roll them all out, we're gonna cut them all out, and then once we're gonna take them, we're gonna refrigerate them for about an hour. And then once they kind of firms the dough up a little bit more, and then what we're gonna do is we are going to then have all our filling, and then we'll show you how to fill them, and then we're gonna bake them off. We're gonna do some in an air fryer, we'll also do some in the regular oven. So we'll have 2 different kinds, and they both come out really delightful, nice and light and flaky, really delicious. So that's our start to the empanadas.
Okay, so now that we made all our discs and we also refrigerated them for about 45 minutes, we're going to fill them.
So we have 2 different fillings like we talked about before. So we have one, which is chorizo, which we have over here, some Spanish style chorizo, which we just crumble up. And we cooked it off with some red and yellow peppers, some onion, and then we finish off with a little bit of cilantro. Doesn't really need much more than that. It's great seasoning already on your chorizo. Then we have beef. So the beef is ground beef, and we added some salt, pepper,
paprika, cumin, oregano, and also cilantro.
And we just kind of season it up, mix it up really well. You want to have a nice flavor. We also added a little bit of our secret spice. We added a little bit of cinnamon, just to give that little je ne sais quoi, or je ne sais que, or just to give a little bit extra flavor. So now Isabella is going to show you.
You also want to strain the meat so it's not too juicy, or else you'll just make a mess.
Yes, you'll have liquid floating everywhere. So we have our oven preheated to 400 degrees, and what we're going to do is you're going to take your beef or your topping, you put it in there.
Take a scoop.
A nice scoop, which is about...
Scoop in a bit, maybe.
Scoop in a bit, which is probably about 2 tablespoons, 3 tablespoons of... And then we'll put 1 egg in.
Quarter of it.
Which with hard-boiled eggs. With eggs we cooked, we filled the pot with the eggs. We put our eggs in there, and then we filled the pot with cold water about 1 inch above the eggs. Brought that water to a boil, turned it off, and let them sit for 12 minutes, and you have nice, beautiful yellow yolks. And then put them into freezing or just ice water. Let them sit till they're cold. So that's the secret way to make some perfect hard-boiled eggs. So they came out great.
Once you fill them, you're going to want to pinch around it first. Can you pass me the pan, please? You're going to want to pinch around it to make sure that there's no openings. And then you can get a little fancy if you'd like, and like fold over and just push it down with a fork to make sure it's really closed. So you don't want any juice or meat falling out of it. And then, so you're just going to want to put a couple holes at the top to let it breathe. And there you go.
And then you will bake them then in your oven about 10-15 minutes until they're GBD, golden brown delicious. Make them nice and flaky and wonderful. We're going to make all these. We're going to bake them off, and we'll be back with some delicious empanadas.
Yep.
Okay, so our empanadas just came out of the oven. Quick thing we forgot to mention before you put them in, you got to take them and take a little egg wash, give them a quick brush, and we baked them 400-degree oven for about 15-20 minutes until they get this nice GBD golden brown delicious, what you're looking for. So here's our empanadas. We also made short grain rice and some beans to go with it, so we'll have a real Latino dinner tonight, and a little bit of our avocado salad. There's a video for that. Check it out. It's pretty good. So we made that to go with this too, a little accompaniment. So you get some green stuff with your empanadas. So let's hope these are good as Florida. Cheers. Happy cooking. And oh, they're hot, but oh my God, they're good. Oh my God, good. Really hot. Enjoy. Happy cooking, and check us out on Instagram at
Sean cooked.
And what the heck was I cook today? You cook empanadas. Enjoy. Have a great night. Thanks a lot. Bye.
God. Oh, it's so hot.